Chapter 14. The Natural Birth Coach Bust. Prayer wasn't a central fact of Joshua's life throughout Hebrew school, after his bar mitzvah, and especially not during college. Praying to the porcelain god of puke control was never his style either, opting instead to pull the good old-fashioned trigger finger instead. Whenever the uncontrollable hiccups emerged, like the time in Ithaca, when he puked out a lung after polishing almost a handle of Bacardi rum with his old metal shredding loving bud JT, seconds after listening to Jimi Hendrix blow the amps out to pieces as his paratrooper buddy from the Army, drummer Buddy Miles, sang with soul man bursting bravado, "Them Changes," on the famed Banded Gypsies show from their legendary Fillmore East performance on New Year's Eve, before Jimmy choked away his dying of the light, ironically enough. When Joshua's daughter Matilda was only 4, she stepped on her new pink Disney guitar, prompting her daddy to say, "You never step on a guitar, Matilda." Matilda replies in a nonchalant yet bare-bones direct manner, but Jimmy played with his teeth. When they used to live in Scarsdale Village, Joshua would push Matilda on the swing, which overlooked the Metro North train tracks heading to the village, which always inspired her daddy to start singing "Hear My Train Coming" from Jimi Hendrix Blues. "Pretty soon, I'm gonna buy this town and put it all in my shoes. It's what I'm gonna do. It's what I'm gonna do." Then the funniest girl in the universe, without it even being close, says, "How can you fit an entire town in your shoe?" Joshua fondly recalls him driving with his 3 kids into the Target parking lot in nearby Mount Kisco, New York. And after his daughter, Matilda, takes one look at the Target logo outside, she asks, "Daddy, do people shoot arrows at Target?" Joshua and his daughter Matilda used to make Vine videos together back when she could only string 2 words together. In one of their Vine videos, Joshua asks his daughter, "Matilda, do you have a nookie problem?" After she takes out the nookie out of her mouth, she says, "I'm a little obsessed." Before Matilda, Singing Rose Cornflute was born, after Mommy was in labor for what felt like 5,000 years for Joshua, after Mama's attempt at a natural childbirth turned out to be a total debacle from the start. Joshua prayed to God that night, asking God to make sure his wife survived childbirth, and to do everything in his power to make sure his knock-kneed, putsy, white man's disease-plagued DNA skipped a generation, God forbid. Now his daughter Matilda is breaking high jump records in the 3rd grade at PQ in North Salem, New York, and the best boy athlete in her class is crushing on her hard, whose grandfather turns out to be a Hall of Fame NHL star who played for the New Jersey Devils, never having to endure the brutal taunting chants of 1940 heard at Ranger Devils games in the early 90s before the mighty Messier called out a shot and won Game 7 at the Garden, before being serenaded down the Canyon of Heroes on Broadway as a bigger hockey god in the Big Apple than even the great one Wayne Gretzky would ever be. Joshua and his wife Anna should have had their doubts about the likelihood of her giving a natural childbirth without any drugs after learning halfway into their natural birthing class that the teacher instructing the course on natural childbirth never gave birth before to nothing but more breathing mantra bullshit. Still, Joshua does recall an intensely real meditation exercise where he envisioned typing in his future home office in Hermosa Beach one day as he heard the waves crash, as his future daughter hopped onto his lap out of nowhere in a state of pure happiness spewing snugly bonding bliss. Hebrew prayers never did anything for Joshua in temple growing up, because he could only read Hebrew back then, but had zero idea what the translation was. Without reading the English translation in his prayer book, which was instructive, but at the same time stripped the holiness-packed oomph of the communal experience at large. Even at a Reformed synagogue in Scarsdale, New York, where the command of Hebrew language was on par with basic car mechanics 101, like not knowing how to change a tire, as Clint Eastwood whispers in your ear from afar with extreme fury disgust, "Worthless Jew." Now Joshua was married to a girl who was raised in a Catholic household by a mother born in Manchester, England, who since moving to Delaware with her family attended a rundown yet quaint Ukrainian church in Delaware, who made fishballs out of cod and almond meal, which Joshua enjoyed plenty whenever the mom made it, assuming the price is right at ShopRite. What Joshua didn't enjoy was his terse, borderline mute future English father-in-law at the dinner table, getting his panties in a bunch over his future son-in-law scoring big laughs from their guests, showcasing star-powered charisma at its finest, only to hear, "He talks more than the other one," meaning, "Shut this fucking loud-mouthed Jew up already, so I can resume resenting my wife's never-ending ballooning ass in my head again. Why did my daughter have to dump her borderline catatonic blonde Nordic fiance from Indiana for this Howard Stern hack wannabe?" Joshua also didn't enjoy his mother-in-law forcing his kids to do grace in their home back in New York because A, it wasn't her home, B, she knew Joshua was raised Jewish, C, her opportunity to instill a religious education for her own children had passed, D, it wasn't very Jesus-like when she chucked a butcher knife at her husband when they lived in Australia because she couldn't handle being a stay-at-home mom fondling avocados the size of Babar's nutsack. D, her grace prayers not once included any shout-outs in his own parents' honor. And E, the grace prayers were very general and bland, lacking all personal, zesty pop on par with every other birthday card she ever wrote for her grandchildren with the salutation, "God bless." Nothing more, nothing less. God bless, yes, Joshua being a father of three, who achieved his dream of writing for TV in Manhattan on VH1 Classics America Hard 100, made this do-it-all dad feel more blessed than the rest. But not in the mother-in-law department, especially after learning from his kids about the time they were forced to eat Eucharist behind his back once, which isn't even kosher in Bill Maher's book. Regardless if you believe if the Eucharist is getting you into Christian heaven or not, the Christian kid prayer books and Fisher-Price Little People Christmas toy action figures didn't warm Joshua up to his mother-in-law's domineering Jehovah Witness type pushaways either. One year for Christmas, Joshua's mother-in-law went out of her way to get her granddaughter a giant plastic toy chest with no toys in it. Joshua immediately empathized with his daughter's awkward perplexment, assuring her, "Don't worry, Matilda. When we get back home to New York, we'll fill up your new toy chest with your 8,000 Hanukkah gifts." Joshua's daughter also scored some white socks from the bargain bin at Target that year, which screams, as usual, Grandma's heart wasn't in it again.